Hi, today we will be developing the rules for adding and subtracting integers. Our goals for today is to develop a conceptual understanding of the rules for adding and subtracting integers. Over my many years of teaching mathematics, I have observed many students have trouble adding and subtracting integers. I think it is because they never really have a good conceptual understanding of what it means to add and subtract integers. I hope to give you that understanding today. We know that 2 plus 5 is 7, but let's start developing our understanding of integers. 2 plus 5 means we start with 2 positives. Since we are adding on 5 more positives, we can simply add 5 more plus signs. Now we see that we have 7 positives, so our answer is going to be a positive 7, which we can just write as 7. Say we have -1 plus -5. We start with 1 negative, then add another 5 negatives. We see that we have 6 negatives in total, so our answer is -6. Now let's look at -5 plus a positive 4. We start with 5 negatives. Now we need to add 4 positives. Since the plus and minus signs cancel out each other, we are left with 1 negative. Now let's look at 8 plus a -3. We start with 8 positives, and we need to add 3 negatives. Here again, our plus and minus signs cancel each other out, leaving us with 5 positives, so our answer is a positive 5. Now let's look at -2 plus a -3. We start with 2 negatives. Now we need to add 3 more negatives, and we end up with 5 negatives, so our answer is -5. Looking at our previous results, see if you can come up with a rule for adding integers. Pause the video for just a moment and allow yourself some time to think about this. So we really have 2 cases. If our signs are the same, either both are positive or both are negative, then we can forget about the signs for a second and add the numbers together. The answer will be the sign of the original numbers we were adding. If the signs are different, take what you have more of and subtract what you have less of. Your answer will have the sign of what you have more of. So just to practice a little, here we have -25 plus a -31. Our signs are the same, they're both negative, so we can just forget about the signs for a second and just add 25 and 31. So 25 plus 31 is 56. And since both of our add-ins, the number that we are adding together, were negative, our answer will be negative. Looking at number 2, we have -58 plus 21. We have more negatives, so we're going to subtract what we have less of from what we have more of, so that we will have a 37 there. But since we had more negatives, our answer is going to be a -37. For number 3, we have 2 positive numbers, a positive 42 and a positive 33, so we would add those together and we would get 75. And since both of our add-ins were positive, then our answer would be positive as well. And number 4, we have 28 plus a -13, so we have more positives, so 28 positives, and we have 13 negatives, so we subtract what we have less of from what we have more of, and we get 15, and that would be a positive 15 because we had more positive values. Now let's look at subtracting integers. I know that 7 minus 5 is equal to 2, but again, let's lay a conceptual understanding for subtracting integers. When we have 7 minus 5, that means we have a positive 7 and we need to take away a positive 5. So we'll start with our 7 positives. And since we're subtracting, we're going to take away 5 positives. So our answer is going to be a positive 2. Let's look at our next problem, negative 6 minus a negative 3. So we will start with 6 negatives. Since we are subtracting negative 3, we're going to take away 3 negatives. Once we take away 3 negatives, we have 3 negatives left, so our answer is negative 3. Now here we have negative 5 minus 4. So we have to think that that's negative 5 and we're subtracting a positive 4. So we start with our 5 negatives. Now we need to take away 4 positives, but we don't have any positives. So we're going to add pairs of positive and negatives, which would be a net 0, but we are going to continue to add positives and negatives until we have 4 positives that we can take away. So once we take away the 4 positives, then we have 9 negatives left. Therefore, our answer is negative 9. Here we have 8 minus a negative 4. So here we have a positive 8 and we're subtracting a negative 4. So we'll start with our 8 positives. Now we need to take away 4 negatives. Well, we don't have any negatives here. So again, we can add pairs of positive and negatives until we have 4 negatives that we can take away. When we take the 4 negatives away, we're left with 12 positives. So our answer is a positive 12. Let's look at one more. We have negative 2 minus 3, meaning negative 2, and we're subtracting a positive 3. We'll start with our 2 negatives. Now we need to take away 3 positives. We will add pairs of positives and negatives until we have 3 positives that we can take away. Once we take away the 3 positives, we're left with 5 negatives, so our answer is negative 5. Let's look at those last 2 problems a little bit more. For number 4, we had 8 minus a negative 4. We added our positives and negatives, and then we took away the 4 negatives. So the end result is that we added 4 positives. For number 5, when we took away the 3 positives, we essentially added 3 negatives. So another way that we can think about subtracting integers is that we are really adding the opposite. We could rewrite all of our subtraction problems as addition problems as adding the opposite. So notice that when we do that, we get the same result. Most of the time students understand the rules for adding integers pretty well. So when it comes to subtracting integers, we could always just rewrite them as adding the opposite and then follow our rules for adding integers. So when we subtract integers, we add the opposite value of the second number to the first number. Go ahead and pause the video and try these few little practice problems. Okay, so how did you do? I hope you did great.